Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Medium Podcast with your host, Melissa Nami.
And it's me, Connor.
And for today's guest, we've got comedian, producer, streamer, and podcaster Mario Rodriguez.
What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Yeah, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming out here, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, happy to be in this lovely studio. Very cool.
It's pretty cool if you don't look up enough. I always mention that because then you can see all the wires.
No, yeah, the wires are cool. I had braces as a kid, so big wire guy. Big wire guy.
You're pro wire.
Pro wire.
Yeah.
Pro wire. Love Baltimore.
What is it like? You're anti-wire shaming?
Yeah, no, yeah. I want all the wires out. These TVs don't have enough, honestly, at this point.
Are you anti-Invisalign?
I really am anti-Invisalign, low-key. My girl just went to the dentist and she was like, they want to give me Invisalign? I'm like, no, you don't fuck. If you're going to get it, you get the train tracks like all of us. You get it
be old school about it.
Yeah, I even had like the fucking rubber bands, like that stuff, dude.
What color would you get?
I used to get like orange.
Oh, you were bold.
I loved orange. Yeah,
that's a bold ass color.
I guess it is looking back. You know what I mean? I should have got something better. But I always thought if it was like white, if something like food would get stuck in it, it'd be more noticeable. If it was orange, it'd be like it'd match my yellow teeth a little bit better.
Oh, you were drinking coffee as a kid?
Yeah, I'm like 8 years old drinking coffee.
Orange juice like crazy.
Yeah.
You never had braces, so you're good.
Yeah, no, I never had braces.
I had braces twice.
Same. Yeah.
So they got you too. They got your parents. That's what I told my mom. Well, you should have just waited for all my teeth to come out.
Yeah.
Why did you even do that?
Right. I felt like I had braces for like 10 years.
Same here.
Yeah.
It was like probably close to 6.
Yeah.
I get a little bummed out because like there's a time when you realize like you're a kid because I'd look at my brackets and they'd be like pink, yellow, blue, whatever.
Right.
Like all cool. And then when I became like, I had them in high school a little bit. They were all like cream or like a very light pastel color just to blend in and not bring attention. I'm like, you grew up, you punk.
Your goth era, it was just black one.
Oh yeah. I broke because someone made me think hard about it. I broke my hand like 2 years ago now.
Okay.
And I got a black cast.
Nice.
And we had a lady who would ride her bike every morning around the neighborhood. She was so sweet. Her name was Dawn. And she saw my broken hand. She's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Broke it. I'm going to be like this for 8 weeks. She's like, you couldn't have chosen a different color besides black. And then she just rode off on her bike. I was like, I'm old and jaded.
That's how, like, you're so emo. You cut yourself so hard it broke your arm.
My arm, yeah. Cut my wrist and break my wrist.
Yeah.
No. I should have gotten pink or something because then my friends could have signed it.
That is true. I mean, black, you can sign it with the white Sharpie or the silver Sharpie.
The white one, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I love a good tagger.
Hey.
You remember, like, you guys have, like, your backpack blasted?
No, I never did that. My mom would have kicked my ass.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, but I liked it. I did like it. Well, I didn't really have a backpack per se. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't very good at school, so I wasn't like bringing my supplies to school type fella.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think towards the end, or like maybe the last 3 years of school for me, it was just like a couple papers and maybe a pencil in my pocket.
Yeah.
If I remembered the pencil.
Right. Because at a certain point, like in high school, you could just I could just leave my stuff in like my locker because I played sports. So I just leave my stuff there, and I wouldn't I had nothing on me. I would just run around.
That's great.
Get into problems.
Were you in an inside school, like indoors?
No, we were like California schools are like hybrid, or it's all of it's outside. There's no hallways, but there's there's like awnings everywhere. A lot of quad hangouts.
Oh,
you know
nice.
what I mean? Yeah.
Actually, because when I was listening to your podcast with Andy, you said you're 31. You graduated 2011, so we're all exactly the same age.
Let's go. Yeah. Cool.
Graduated 2011 as well and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I have a theory. So like, what were you? I'm curious. What were you like in high school?
I played sports. So I was like in sports.
What did you play?
I played football and basketball.
Oh, okay, that's not what I would have guessed.
Yeah. I hung out with all like the punk kids, you know what I mean? So
you're like the edgy guy on the team?
Yeah. So I felt like I got along with everybody, I went to kind of like a lot of school with like a lot of gangs.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
nice.
it was like cool to hang out with the gang members, but not be in a gang. You know what I mean? That kind of shit.
You were gang adjacent.
Yeah,
not affiliated, but just adjacent.
Yeah.
They let you eat with them in the quad.
Yeah, right. Yeah, standing up and eating with the friends. Yeah. I was like, normal kid.
Were you creative in high school?
Was I creative in high school? Not really. And then like I knew I liked like art and stuff, but I didn't really know. And then like I seen Wicked like my junior year, and it like blew my mind. Like I never even considered drama or nothing, you know. I was like, oh, that shit's stupid, you know. And then I seen Wicked, I was like, what the fuck?
That's so cute that's what changed your life.
It broke my life.
A musical
for real. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And I still didn't do drama, but I like that stood in my head as like a thing of like, oh man, that's cool, you know.
That's not what I would have expected to do that for you too. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, it was like a Christmas present for my mom and shit. She just took me.
I would have expected you to be like skating or doing something different like that, just based on your demeanor now.
Yeah.
And you know, you mentioned it right before this. This is the longest we've ever talked.
Officially,
right now, even just like 5 minutes in. But I've gotten to see you at shows. I've seen you perform. You've gotten to see me perform.
Of course, yeah.
And it almost feels like we know each other to a degree.
Yeah.
It's cool, and we've always said hi. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation because like. I feel like you have a couple things you're into based on like following you on Instagram. Like,
right.
You do comedy now, video editing. I know about that.
Yeah.
You do the live podcast. You stream it. I think you surf.
I do surf. Yeah.
So that's a lot of cool ways, like outlets of expression. Like, I don't know if you thought we were gonna have like a psychic or anything on the podcast.
No. Oh, medium.
It's more like expressive medium. You know.
Oh, yes.
So in this case, your medium is comedy, video. It's entertainment to a degree.
Yeah.
You know?
And I just fit back into medium shirts too, so that's a big deal for me.
Were you fat?
I was a little chubbier before. Yeah.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, well, like that's kind of when I started.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, you know, I wasn't huge, but I was, you know, I remember I just had this picture in my mind with like took a picture of one of my exes, and like it was shot from underneath, and I remember seeing the picture, and it was just like I just had such a huge belly because you know I love beer. I love drinking beers and Jack in the Box. And
You're
stuff.
On stage with the beer. Do you love Jack in the Box?
I used to live next to a Jack in the Box in Long Beach, and it was it's a 24-hour Jack in the Box, so it was a problem. You know what I mean?
If you're getting home, leaving
junior bacon cheeseburgers, I'd black out, wake up to like wrappers in my car, like you know, like just piles of wrappers.
What did you do to yourself last night?
It really did feel like that. It would feel like that. Like I just have like grease all over my face, and you know,
just holding your stomach.
Literally. So yeah, and then so like surfing, when I started like really getting into surfing, it was kind of a way to like, because again, like I played sports as a kid, and then I didn't because I was like, oh, after high school, I was like, sports are dumb, you know, like sports. I'm an intellectual, so I like hated my body, you know. And then
you decided to neglect it,
literally like self-harm through eating and, you know, drug use, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, let me take a better care of myself. So that's kind of the arc I'm on, you know, kind of now. You know,
that's great. I'm a big nerd when it comes to like health and stuff. I always say health is wealth, and
absolutely.
You know, like I like everyone finds their way to work out. It's like you found surfing. He does drumming for working out.
Nice.
And it's like if you find what you love and you do it, that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely, you know? Absolutely.
By no means is it like gotta go to the gym and you know. So if you could eat Jack in the Box and surf and stuff.
Right. Well, I try to do like, you know, like make healthier habits. So like if I'm gonna eat fast food, I'll eat like Taco Bell, like the spicy potato tacos.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like trying not to get so much like fast food meat if I have to, you know?
Yeah, more like less processed meat. Got you.
And or like hit like a what's that? Not Waba Grill, the other one, flame broiler. Love a flame broiler. I love vegetables.
Most of my meal, like when I cook at home, it's all that. Just literally, I'll make rice and a meat, green onions. I'm all sriracha.
Sriracha, yeah.
If I'm fancy, avocado.
Oh, okay, okay.
I go nuts.
I just kind of got into avocado. I was like, as a kid, I was like, everyone loved this. I was like, this is stupid. I hate this.
You're
it's all
Mexican.
mushy. I know.
And you grew up in California.
I know. I hate it. And then I was like 25. And I was like, this is kind of good. We're like, okay.
You have to find how you like it. Some people don't like it warm. Some people don't like it cold. You know what I mean?
Right,
I like it always.
There you go. Like it was always like a texture thing for me. You know.
You grow up, your palate changes every 7 years.
That's what I've heard that.
That's always such an interesting thing. I'm like, what happened to my old one? What if I really liked a food and now you've taken that from me?
You know, God, this is you.
Why? I love tomatoes just yesterday.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
No. So I guess 8 years in it. Like, okay, again, I listened to the podcast with Andy, so I'm gonna. Of course. You've been doing comedy for 8 years now.
Yeah, it's gonna be 8 years in October.
Sick.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's great.
That's a long time to be doing something.
It is a long time. It's like it's kind of looking like now. It's like, damn, that's been a long time. You know, in the time as I was doing it, it didn't feel that long because I never thought about being like a real comedian.
You're mega natural on stage.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I did it because it was like fun and I like to go drink. You know, and it was like a way for me to because I used to like write short stories. So I would like write all day, and then I needed some like way to like, you know, chill after.
Yeah.
So I found out there was my open mics, so I would just go to open mics to like hang out, and like I would go to Flappers Burbank, and they used to have these like cauldron Stellas, and I used to think they were so cool, and I would just drink them, and then eventually I went up, and then you know, years later I had never stopped. You know, I don't know what the deal is.
Did you like stand-up comedy before that?
I did, but I didn't know, like, I don't know, like you, like, did you like stand-up as a kid?
As a kid, I remember, like, my first memory of comedy was my sister would take us to Blockbuster, take me and her now sister-in-law. She married her high school sweetheart.
Aw, my sister too.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Good for our sisters,
Let's go,
man.
sisters. I love sisters.
I do too. My sister's the best.
Yeah.
And I always say
my sister's the best.
We should have our sisters
My sister's
fight.
more horny for her high school lover. My sister's actually more horny for her lover.
My sister's a square, so you're probably right.
Dude, my sister's a square too, honestly. Yeah.
I love, that's so great. What was I?
You're going to Blockbuster. You're going to Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah. She took us and she rented Eddie Murphy Raw.
Okay.
And that was like the first.
Yes.
Looking back now, I should not have watched that shit when I was 9.
Yes.
But there was like one joke to this day that I remember. I'm like, foo, that one bit. And that was my first exposure to it.
Yeah.
And then late night when my parents would go to bed, I'd watch South Park and Comedy Central specials. But that was like 13, 14. You know what I mean? I was a little older and
Yeah. Dude, I think that was my first exposure too, is Eddie Murphy Raw. My dad showed it to me. Yeah. Are we the same motherfucker?
I don't know. I've kind of thought so when I look at you sometimes. I'm like, why do I feel like me and Mario probably would have been buddies in high school? We all probably would have hung out and done. Well, actually, you were like a really serious sports kid, it sounds like.
No, well, I mean, I hung out with everybody. I wasn't serious about anything, but I was serious about, you know,
having a good time.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, I got suspended a bunch because I was like a class clown type fella. Yeah. But like the Eddie Murphy Raw, like seeing that, all I can remember from that is being like, God, this guy is cussing a lot. Like that's so crazy. But I never thought about it as like stand up. You know what I mean? I never thought like, oh, you can do that. I just thought it was like, oh, these are just funny people. Like, and then
because you had already seen him in movies and stuff like that at that point. Yeah, same here.
So I was like, oh, this is a funny guy. And then like in the Comedy Central when that was happening, like Cat Williams, like watching Cat Williams, I was like, whoa, this guy's hilarious. Like he has that one bit about shopping with the music or whatever. He's like, DJ, cut that shit out. Stuff like that. And they play it again. He's like pretending to shop. And then Ron White, like those two dudes, like Cat Williams and Ron White, like now looking back, they like shaped a lot of what I think is funny.
Oh, okay.
You know? I think that's why I hold a drink on stage is because of Ron White.
Oh yeah.
You know, like subconsciously somehow, and also like I'm like kind of anxious, so like that
you like having something to play with in your hand. To hold,
it grounds me a little bit.
Otherwise, you're like twirling your hair.
Yeah, I get like lost. Honestly, I get lost. Cause like you know, I kind of just ramble sometimes on stage, and usually it goes somewhere good.
Yeah.
But you know. Early on, it did not.
That's a muscle you had to learn to train. Yeah,
dude. Crowd work, bombing and crowd work is like the worst, bro.
Guys are even listening to me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, dude, so what are you, stupid? They're like, what?
That's what's so fun about your style. Like, it feels like you're just having a conversation with us. And even though I'm not responding as an audience member, I feel like I'm a part of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's such a cool thing to achieve, you know, versus having that, like, monotony, that mundane, like, you know, cadence or whatever, you know, which we all find that natural ability on stage, hopefully, at one point, you know, but it's cool how you really do just go off the top of your head.
Yeah, yo, thank you. Yeah, well, like I have like jokes that like I'll like I need to get to here because I know that this is a joke I want to do. So like figuring out how to get there, but like the idea of it feeling like inclusive is really cool to me. Like that kind of happened by chance.
Nice.
Like I remember like some of my favorite times on stage were like, you know, especially with crowd work or like riffing. Like you come up with a line, like you riff a line, and like everyone kind of can tell it just happened in the moment. And then now it's not like a me and the crowd, it's like we all just experience something.
Yeah.
And as like an acid dude, I love that. You know what I mean? It feels like it's like we all just did this together.
We're
you know?
all one.
Yeah, you're like, you guys see what I thought? You guys see how I thought that?
You start telling them about the Tao and everything that.
Right. Yeah, so like that concept was always really cool to me. So that's cool that happens. But you know, I don't know. It wasn't none of it. Like I never really intended for any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So very lucky.
But it went from sports to intellectual. Right.
Yes.
You were writing short stories.
Yes.
And then
poetry.
Poetry. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, I just love the written word is beautiful to me, you know?
To a degree, I argue comedians are wordsmiths.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
So,
especially, dude, I mean, you're a great writer, so like, you know.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That means the world to me.
Of course. I mean, your jokes are so tight and, you know, so funny. And that's like that's harder to me to then, you know, going up and being like, you guys fuck or what? You know what I mean? Like, you know.
But that works because again, all of us are like, we're looking at the couple. You know, it's always so interesting.
Yeah.
And so when you started in Burbank, was it like, did you know that after that first hit, like I just got it? Because that's a cool place to start, Flappers.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like it had to be like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I was like on the outside. Like it was a lot different. Like I feel like comedians out, especially like out here and after the pandemic, like everyone's kind of pretty supportive. You know what I mean? Then it was like everyone was not. You know what I mean? So like I was like blacked out when I would go up. So all the comments were like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" You know what I mean? So it wasn't like that kind of dynamic. I didn't really like. I remember I did a show. So like 2 years in, I decided to like move into my truck and do mics like on the road and shit.
Sick.
And I remember I did my first ever paid show.
You didn't kill a girlfriend while you were doing it, right?
No. Oh, laundry? Yeah. I don't even do laundry. No. The plan was to like I was gonna write a book, and then I
sick.
Yeah, but then like sitting alone was too fucking hard, so I was like, I was just gonna go to a mic actually, and then I just ended up doing mics. But I like got my first paid gig ever in Portland. It was like
sick.
$10, and
Still paid.
Yeah. And then like after that, like I was like I got the money, and then everyone was like, "Oh, good job," this and that. I was like, "Dang, man, I could maybe do this for real." You know what I mean? It was like kind of that kind of realization.
It helps when you're funny and affable. Like you don't seem like a jerk. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Yeah, I hope not.
I mean, we all. I always joke with my buddies. I'm like, you have to work a little harder because you have like the male version of RBF. You know what I mean? It's like so, but like when you like friendly face, you know what I mean?
Right.
You have a very friendly face.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is cool. Like, it is cool when people smile. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I get that. You like doing what you like seeing coming at you. Pretty much. Yeah,
and it's funny how like most of my favorite comics, like in the scene or like the comics I see, are always comics that I feel like having fun on stage. You know, like those are always like the, you know, I'm like, oh man, that's fun. You know.
How long were you on the road for like that?
I was on the road for like 8-9 months.
Damn.
Yeah.
Eating Jack in the Box and just living life, huh?
Well, dude, I was eating like a Whole Food soup.
Really?
I would go in to get their food, and the soup, they had like this
drinking from the can.
Yeah, legitimately. I would keep like a loaf of bread in my car and just like dip the bread in the soup. They had like this wild rice soup, and it tastes like gravy. It was so bomb. Oh my god. Yeah, that's mostly what I ate.
Soup.
And then every once in a while, I'd make. I had like a little grill. I'd make like rice and beans in my car, but that was a lot of work. You know.
Was that a fun? Like looking back now.
Oh yeah.
Was that a really fun experience?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was like crucial, and it was crucial for like looking back, like for my development, like because starting in LA, like you like. One, the most of the mics you're going to, you're getting like 3-minute spots at the most. Like you'd go on anywhere outside of LA, a mic you'll get at least 5 to like 15 minutes. So I'm doing like in Seattle, I would do this mic on like Wednesdays, and you would do like 2 15-minute sets a night.
Damn.
There, and it's like it was like a music show, so you go on before the music and after, and so the crowd would be completely different, you know. And it was like so like learning how to like manage different scenes and like being a new comic in another scene and like, you know, figuring out like, oh yeah, everyone's gonna be mean to you at first. You just gotta keep doing it, and they're gonna be like, oh, and they'll have you around. Because like Portland and Denver were like super crucial for me, because like Portland's such a good like writing city. You know, like all those comics have such good jokes, and like
it inspires you to work a little harder.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I need to start writing bits more, and then you get to Denver, it's like the Wild West, and these foods are just like the first show I go to. This one of the comics like threw a stool at one of the fucking he had a heckler that tried to get on stage, and he threw a stool at him.
Well, you get drunker in Denver, right? That's what they say.
That's that.
Is that true?
The elevation.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I've heard it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't grow up in Denver when you were in Colorado?
Well, I mean, I was really young, so I wasn't drinking beer.
No, I know you weren't drinking beer.
Getting sloshed up.
Like,
booby
was
milk.
your like? I mean, I guess you were really, really young. You wouldn't remember if your parents were like easily affected.
Yeah, I
from it
moved
or
back to
anything.
California when I was like 7. So.
Okay, nice.
Your memory fucking sucks.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
kidding.
I mean,
Honestly?
I can't even recall like a year ago. So.
Yeah. I love Denver. Colorado's beautiful too. Like,
It is. It's a beautiful state.
I've always wanted to go.
Oh, you dude.
How long would you set up? Like, how do you? Was it set up camp? Set up stop? What's the saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Set up camp, I believe.
Cool.
Right?
How long would you do that for?
Well, in like it would be
Pit stop. How long would you do your pit stop for set up stop? Okay, sorry.
My pits never stop. I was kind of worried about that on the way over here, because no. So like it would be different. So like in San Jose, I started in San Jose, and I was there for like a month and a half.
Dang.
And then I like went up to like Eureka, Eugene. And then
it's beautiful up there too.
Oh my God, it's
very
gorgeous.
green.
Like driving up the Oregon coast, it was like one of the prettiest things I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God, I'm so grateful I got to do that, you know. And yeah, like I was supposed to be in Portland for like 2 weeks, and then I was gonna be in Seattle for like a month. And I love Portland so much. I was there for literally 2 months. They were like, "Did you move here? Are you gonna leave?" And you know. And then Seattle, I was there for like a week. Seattle was so fucking depressing.
Why?
I don't know what.
Because of the weather or what?
I don't know what it was, dude. As soon as I got there, and I'm also was on like a lot of mushrooms, and so I was like feeling a lot. Yeah. So as soon as I got into like Seattle, I was like, oh, this is sad. Like I don't know what it was. It was sad.
This is a bummer in your spiritual journey.
It really was. And then like, cause like Portland, you go to the coffee. I love coffee, and I love going to coffee shops. So like in Portland, the coffee shops are all like weirdos, and like Portland's weird. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then you go to Seattle, and you go to coffee shops, and it's all like tech bros with like fucking AirPods and like biceps, and they're like, it's like just terrible energy, Cause
totally different.
Like it's like tech capital of the world or whatever.
Yeah. You're all, no wonder Kurt Cobain fucking. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Dude, for real, if you feel that, I swear to God, I was like, no wonder everyone fucking kills himself here, or unalives himself. Sorry.
Well, it's always such a crazy thing to realize, because it's like they always say the sun there only shines like 20-something% of the year or whatever. That's why Twilight took place in Washington, dog.
I fucking love Twilight.
Do you really?
I really do. I really love
Me
Twilight.
and Chantel just recently rewatched it.
Nice.
Oh my God, it was really fun.
Dude, that was like the first movie me and my girlfriend watched together.
Yeah,
we were like, let's watch Twilight. We know it's a banger. Let's watch it.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Dude, the scene where he like stops the van with his hand and like looks at her. That's
Chills.
like my dude. Truly one of the best scenes in fucking history. Oh, I love that fucking scene. The music in that movie is so good, dude. The only thing that is bad about that movie is the "Hold On, Spider Monkey." That's the only.
That's the only line.
The only line where I'm like, come on.
You should have just stopped at "Hold On, Edward."
Yeah. That would have been better.
You don't like Twilight, dude?
No.
Again, back to shouts on my sister, because she would take me to the midnight premiere.
Oh,
we would read the
nice.
books together, and then we'd go to the premieres.
Dude, that
together.
was like a fucking era, dude. When the Twilight era. Oh man, when the book with the little hands came. That one, I was like, whoa.
There's a second one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No.
I seen a meme of that recently. It's like that book, but it's like a buzzball. It's like a buzzball. I was like, dang, that's funny. That's good.
That is pretty good. I've never actually had a Buzzball. I've never tried it.
I've only taken sips out of like the Buzzball biggies.
No.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of Buzzballs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're gross.
No, yeah. I imagine the hangover
hangover feel for sure.
It was invented by a teacher so she can drink while she graded papers.
Oh my gosh.
Sick. Yeah.
She couldn't just drink wine.
Yeah, I know. She's too good for wine.
Yeah, what the hell?
Was she a teacher in a public school?
Yeah, forget wine in a coffee club like the rest of us, lady. Come on.
What the hell?
Are you grateful that's something you got to do alone? Because that's kind of crazy, dude. Like, to go to a new spot. Like, because one, it's hard to become unfamiliar with something. So you kind of pushed yourself out of your comfort zone, you know?
Right.
And then not only did you do that once, but twice.
Yeah.
Because from what, San Jose, Denver, Portland, and where else was it?
Those are like the Seattle. Those are like the major cities. Like I stopped in Wyoming.
Okay.
You know, so just like doing that little loop. Yeah, it was cool. It was very challenging mentally.
You didn't try recruiting people like Mario starts a cult. Like, come on, guys, let's do comedy on the road in the truck.
I was like in some like the opposite. I was like an anarchist. So I was like, we all collectively get together. You know what I mean? But like no cult. You know?
No.
But yeah. Well, I met like so many friends like that I still talk to now. And like you know they come to LA because they're comics still. You know, so like. I seen Steve Hernandez in Denver.
That's
just
cool.
randomly, like the dude that runs Chatterbox. Shout out Chatterbox.
I know the name.
Yeah.
Johnny Gold.
Shout out Gold. Yeah. I seen him randomly, and I was like all hammered. And I was like, Steve, you remember me? And he was like, yeah. I felt like I was gone for years, you know. But yeah, like it was a little challenging mentally towards the end. Cause like I was down for that. I was reading a lot of books again, like intellectual idealism. So like I was reading On the Road from the Jack Kerouac book.
That's okay.
Yeah, and it's like pretty much him just crossing from America, like from New York to Mexico City to like Big Sur, like making that triangle. And so I was like all in love with travel and learning about the country, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like cool. And then like towards the end in Denver, like towards the end of the month, it's like fucking middle of August. It's hot as fuck. It's like 95 degrees at night. So like I'm like sweating in the truck, sleeping naked just like this. You know? And
still having like a hard time cooling down.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I would like buy jugs of water from 7-Eleven and just like hold them while I slept, you know, so they cool me down. So like that started to take its toll.
Committed,
like,
dude.
Yeah, well, there's nothing really to do out there else, you know. Like at a certain point, you're like, you know, you've gone too far.
It's too late to turn back now.
To turn it back.
You're saying it in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, I used to have a joke like that where I was like, I'm like, my roommate's always crying, but then I realized I live in my car and it's just me in the rearview mirror. Like, oh, my roommate's always fucking crying.
Why does that like feel like it resonates so much?
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah. So like, so that started to like kind of take its toll mentally, and then cause you know, being homeless isn't easy, you know, obviously for like the real bros that are doing it for real. And I remember
you did it by choice. I did
it by choice. All stupid, all fucking liberal white woman,
young, wild, and free.
Yeah, literally. And then I would hang out at this like anarchist bookstore in Denver. And they knew I was sleeping in my car, so they let me stay. Like I would be there till like 3 a.m., 3:30. And then I was like, I was like, man, should I go? Should I leave? It's about to be 9 months. My sister's about to have a baby. My first nephew. And I was like looking for a sign, and then I found On the Road again in the bookstore. I was like, oh, sick. And I opened it, and the first line that I read was, I left for Denver for San Francisco. Like that was the first line I read. And a girl at the time was living in San Francisco, and I was like, I'm leaving. Leaving. That was my sign, dude. I'm out of here. The next day, it was during the chicken sandwich wars. It was when Popeyes came out with the chicken sandwich.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was a freaking time, dude. People would fight over that sandwich.
Dude. I waited that next day. I waited in line at Popeyes for like 50 minutes, and then I took my chicken sandwich and I left. I went to San Francisco. It was the most beautiful drive I've ever had in my whole life. Yeah.
You have it affiliated with your Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I'll never forget the line, and yeah, that drive. Oh man, I was like sobbing on that drive driving, and I was like,
because the sandwich was so good. The
sandwich was so juicy. How they do this so juicy?
I would punch a woman in the face for that.
Oh God! I was like, have you seen that?
I understand now.
The meme of the Popeyes worker where like it's all worth it. All her labor's worth it.
I was like, at one point, I'm all, if I just wait outside of a drive-through long enough, I could T-bone someone and get their sandwich.
Yeah, like it's Last of Us rules.
Give me your fucking sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm waiting in line for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. So that it was challenging, but I mean, what do you call that? Like I wouldn't trade those experiences, for anything.
Yeah, it's turned you into who you are today.
Yeah, truly, and it's maybe a better comic, which is arguably more important.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, that's who you are today is a better comic. You know what I mean? Who are we if we are not our craft?
That's true.
When you were in San Francisco, how long did it take you to come back down to SoCal?
It took I stood there for another 2 weeks. I decompressed because the lady I was dating at the time, she was dog sitting, so we were in this really nice house, and I was like, I'm just gonna enjoy being Buster was up there because he was dating a girl up there. My homie Buster Brown, shout out Buster. So I first couple days I seen him, and it was just I was decompressing, and then I came back down, and and I think 4 months later, the pandemic happened and everything changed. So.
And that's when the world stopped.
Yeah, but yeah.
Was it so? One of the parts that I thought was interesting when you were mentioning it to Andy was it took you 2 years to get out to Chatterbox.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's your stomping grounds now to a degree, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, thankfully now they asked me to host a lot, and I've headlined there a couple times, and I don't know what it was because I'm from Baldwin Park, so I'm the city next door.
Yeah, you're literally right next door.
Yeah. And as a kid, I fucking hated Covina. They're all
why?
I did because it's a class thing, really. Because Covina, it's a little bit better, quote unquote, neighborhood. So it was I was always they're Mexican foods. I thought they're white guys, you know what I mean? And I always just got annoyed me. But the real reason I didn't know Chatterbox existed, one, and then two, I was I don't want to do stand up anywhere near where I grew up. I just rather do it in LA, and no one knows me. I'll never see anybody that remembers. I'll never run into a old high school fucking person,
Yeah.
So then once I was I felt that I was funny, at least a little bit. And then I was I heard about Chatterbox and Covina. I was I'll check it out.
Just in case you wanted to make sure you got comfortable in case you saw someone. I get that.
Exactly. Because there's I always tell young comics maybe say when you first start doing comedy, all your friends want to come see you.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the worst time for them to come see you is when you first start, So it's kind of good to go out there alone, figure it out, bomb by yourself, and then once you get a couple jokes you like, then you invite the homies, and then it's a little bit more palpable. Your homies aren't oh, what the fuck is he doing?
I don't even know that person.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember one time, dude, I was bombing so hard in front of my homegirl Maria, shout out Maria, and I just seen her face just being you know what I mean?
I'm friends with this guy.
Yeah, she's just and I that's burned into my memory, But that's how it goes.
That's good that you got there when you were, you know what I mean? Because it's true. When I first started, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate all of your guys' support. But when I first started, they were oh, we're gonna come and see you, and I'm
yeah, this
is hard.
Yeah.
It's
Especially
really
when you first
hard
start too, because you're so in your own head, and you're so
nervous Nelly.
Yeah,
so it's tough.
It's and that's a beautiful part about stand up, and also is that if you just keep working at it through time, you'll figure it out too. So it's there's no rush to none
Inshallah,
of this.
hopefully people do, right? Because we all have that one friend.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. You're. It's always so fun. I've always wanted to have Connor come to one of your shows.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because the band aspect is so cool.
Yes.
It's super duper cool.
Oh, dude, yeah. My bros, Buster Brown and Eric Cerrone, also a drummer. We have live drums and shit. And that's one thing I think that really separates our show is like the live music aspect. And they're both comedians too, so they're mic'd up. And yeah, that really is like one of my favorite parts of, you know, Idiots United. Shout out to Idiots United.
Yeah, Idiots United is awesome.
Yeah, Melissa's done multiple Idiot shows.
I have, thank you for the opportunity. It's been fun. I've done your Sunset show, Accidental Chaos, and Chatterbox.
And Chatterbox, yeah, you've hit them all.
And the one Accidental Chaos, that was cool because it was the Idiots at Jerry's.
Yes.
Which is such a cool. It's a collaboration, yeah, or is it like an affiliate? What's the difference between affiliate and collaborative?
Affiliate and collaborative?
Is there a difference?
Being affiliated and collaborating? Yeah, I think that the collaboration has more involvement from both sides together.
You're collaborated, right?
We're collaborating pretty hard.
Hell
Yeah, we're collaborating pretty hard. We're pretty hard.
We collaborate all the time.
I'm so collaborated with him. Yeah. The way that started, Jerry had a online podcast that he would do. And then we have a live show, and then we met through mutual friends, and he would come out to shows, and then I forget, someone just they're like, you guys should do a show together. And then I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do a live show. And then he brought in the aspect of the interview after, of like, you know, keep the comics on, interview them, and then that's turned into like its own fun now. It's like almost 3 years since we started that show.
It's its own little baby of yours.
Yeah, and it's really fun, and we've been doing a lot more shows and getting like a lot of opportunities because he's like really plugged in like the art world and stuff. So
very
like,
cool.
You know, getting us, you know, we're like freaking, you know, slum dogs. You know what I mean?
You guys make it so fun. You guys get dressed up and stuff like that. You put on the suit and tie. It's sick.
Yeah. The last show, I didn't have time to get my suit, so I just like ran a Goodwill and like bought a new coat and tie. And I was like, dang, this coat looks good, you know. And then like I was like wearing, I was like, dang, I look sick. And then my girl comes and she's like looking at the suit, and she's like, can I check? She checks the tag. It's like a girl's jacket. It's all slimming right here, like bends in.
Like, I thought it made my breasts look great.
It really did make me look like, it gave me an hourglass figure, and I was like, damn, I look good, dude. I look good. It was so funny.
It was slimming.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that suit though. It's nice.
Why not?
Yeah.
Boys would wear like girls' pants all the time because crew pants were too expensive.
Yeah. And dude, my sunglasses are girl sunglasses. You know,
hell yeah.
You know, like it's like
you dress
like,
bisexual.
Yeah, I'm bisexual as hell, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Shit.
You're open-minded.
Open-minded, dude.
Because you went to Portland, man.
Yeah,
if you never went to Portland.
I got the liberal mind virus in me. It's not a big deal.
It's such a fun because they have such a cool chemistry. Buster and his name is Eric, right?
Eric, yeah.
They have such a cool chemistry on stage, and then when you get on there, the banter that you all have together is so much fun.
Yeah.
You don't play it. You never thought about picking up an instrument?
Dude, Buster's trying to get me to play bass for years.
I feel like you could do it.
Yeah, I tried.
Da-dum-dum.
I tried. It's just so much work, you know what I mean? It's like to practice, like, you know, it's another thing to practice, and you know, and I don't know, I'll try. I played saxophone in 6th grade.
Oh, nice.
So
do a sax solo in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Sax is cool.
Yeah.
It's neat.
Yeah.
Lisa Simpson, dude.
Yeah. Of course, I'm bisexual. Of course, I play sax. Just blowing on sax. I should try it. I should try it out. But
as long as you're having fun, I mean, they're doing great on their own as a 2-piece.
They're doing good. You know what I mean? I like to get up there, and you know, it's fun to like, especially the like Sunset Lounge show. We kind of take a little liberty, like between comics, we'll do like 15 minutes between comics, and it's just fun to be like on stage with my friends. You know?
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Maybe I'll break out like a little triangle or something one of these days. Bongos would be cool.
Harmonica.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah, dude! Harmonica. Dude, my lady plays harmonica. She's a musician, really good musician, and
she plays guitar and harmonica. One of my favorite combos.
So
dude.
Cool.
That's super dope.
She has a gig at shout out Bella. She has a show in she performs at Lowry's Steakhouse in Hollywood. Cool. And I remember I was watching the playoff games, and like I was like at the bar, I was kind of drinking and shit, and she was like playing, and I would come, and I don't know what happened. She like just played the first time I heard her play harmonica, I started fucking tearing up, dude. I was like recording like the Amy Poehler and fucking Mean Girls. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Like, I don't know what it is about the harmonica. It's like it evokes.
It's soulful.
Yeah,
it's blues. It's very affiliated to, I mean, at least for me, and even folky, you know, if you think Bob Dylan and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's moving. Yeah. I love the harmonica. Big harmonica fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Connor's a musician.
Yeah.
He slaps at the bass and he plays at the drums.
You play it all.
I do the things, yeah.
Good. Yeah. You should come jam with us one day. Well, not me, but with the bros.
Could be fun, yeah.
Yeah. Because they have a spot in Echo Park and they have like a garage. They hang out and jam. We might, I don't know. It's so hard to wrangle the boys for anything. So, but like, we're trying to start like a pod.
It's hard to get a group of musicians to do anything together.
Oh my God,
That's how it always
they
is.
They don't even rehearse. They were friends since middle school too, or like.
Sick.
So they've known each other forever. So like literally they live together and they hardly rehearse.
Yeah.
And then they get on stage and Eric's just so good at like catching Buster, because Buster could play like every song ever imagined, you know. So like their kind of vibe is pretty sick, but it's like all off the cuff.
That's so cool.
There's no, you know, direction.
That's cool though. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like I recently picked up my first show at a brewery, and the brewery owner is in a band, and they were like, are you guys down to do Kill Tony style?
Yeah.
And who am I to they're fun. The Route 30 people are so much fun. Who am I to tell an owner no?
Yeah.
And also I love live music, so I'm like, live music's always cool. So they played like Rage Against the Machine and stuff between the comics, and they rehearsed. I thought it was so cool. They got excited.
Cool. That is cool. I love live music with comedy. I think it's like such a good. The first time I ever experienced that was in Portland. There was a mic that they would have a band, and I was like talking to the band and hanging out, and I was like, dude, me and Buster could do this. You know, that was before Idiots started. So like, I think it jives really well, you know, those two things.
Live music, period, is super fun.
Absolutely.
I do love I think it's probably like a muscle Eric and Buster have learned to play with the comics.
Yes.
Oh my God. I've never had so much fun on stage before. I was telling Connor, I'm like, they made it funny for me.
Yeah.
Like I would say something and Buster would do like when I do that little Chinese joke. He's all do. I'm oh my God, I'm crying, laughing up here. Well, I need to collect myself before I keep going.
Yeah, dude. He has like a bunch of those. Like if anyone mentions football, he has like the Monday Night Football thing. Like, dude, it's
again a muscle. It's just like he hears it and he knows, and it makes it so much fun as a comic. It's so unique.
Yeah.
We'll go out there one day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
they're like in Fullerton, West Covina, and the other one's in Hollywood. That's the one Curtis went to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kurt had a good time. This is my other buddy. He went to Accidental Chaos.
Nice.
And he's a musician too. He was so in love with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He came right before, and you just see him when he was drinking his beer. He's all,
hell yeah. Fuck
it was tight.
That's awesome. Yeah, we have a show on the 26th in downtown LA. So if you guys are available, anybody in the world, come through.
Plug it, dude.
Yeah. So we'll put it on our Instagram because it's like a secret location. But
Sick.
yeah. It's
Do you make people tell a riddle to get in?
No riddle, but it is very complicated.
Everyone has all these secret shows without any riddles.
I know.
All I want, can you incorporate a riddle aspect?
Incorporate a riddle.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
Like make the riddle always answer an idiot or something like that. Or
Yeah. There should be like our top idiot. You know.
I'm a big riddle gal. How cool though! I saw that you guys had done that show very recently. No.
Yes, it's at that location. Yeah. So that one's also like live streamed. We're just starting getting into live streaming. I don't know none of the tech stuff.
Yeah.
The homie Jesse's helping us out.
That guy right there.
Yeah, we need those guys. Our homie Jesse, he figures it all out, and so that's cool because like, you know, we've been doing shows since 2019, and we have like pretty much no footage. You know what I mean? So it's cool to live stream it because it's up, it's gone. If we can clip it later if we want, it's convenient.
When you guys are live streaming it, are you guys interacting with the chat and stuff like that, or?
On the pod, yeah. On the last show, we probably should get like a segment of what the comments, but like we're on stage, so not really. And then like, yeah, I wonder if Jesse's probably replying to comments, yeah, because that's the new thing is like, what's up, chat? You know, like the memes of chat, you know.
He streams.
We've thought about doing this live before.
Oh hell yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm still
I think
down.
it'd be fun, yeah.
I'm down. You just got to remind me not to say anything like horribly stupid. Just like every few minutes, just be like, remember you're live.
You've done pretty good so far. I don't think you've ever said anything. Maybe, I don't know.
I would say that word that rhymes with maggot a lot. No, I'm just joking. Right. I'm only calling myself that.
They just put a poster right there, back there, and be like, chill.
It's the sign with the arrow pointing down right here.
Sorry, I got a label maker, so it's
but it's even like you caught yourself when you said do a diet or whatever. You're like unalive yourself. It's because it's like these trigger words for YouTube. And
algorithm shit.
Yeah, it's so silly, and it's like we're all kind of learning that little reaction to it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
absolutely.
So when you went to San Fran, I'm just curious, was Buster living in San Fran or did he just meet you there?
Buster was going to school in Santa Barbara for a long time, and the girl he was dating also was in Santa Barbara, and she was from like pretty much like the East Bay. I remember like Fremont or some fucking
got it
place like that. And so he would like go visit her, and then he was in town, but at the time I came back.
Got it.
Yeah.
I was just curious if it was like a hub for comedy at the time, like if people were just there doing mics or like kind of how now if you go to Austin or LA, it's like there's areas known for stand up and mics and stuff. Was San Fran like that?
San Fran was kind of like that. The real place that I had the most fun in the Bay was San Jose. San Jose had a poppin' little scene. No, I don't want to call it little. It was a poppin' scene. You know? It was like some of my favorite mics. The Caravan mic that was there. It was like a mic that was in a bar, and it was so loud, no one could hear you, no one paid attention to you, and then every once in a while it'd get quiet and everyone would be staring at you, and it's like, oh fuck, they're finally listening. Yeah, exactly.
Make us laugh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember the host would always be like, it's easy to talk to people who aren't paying attention. The hard part is when they're paying attention, like, what are you gonna say, you know? And that always sticks in my head a lot, you know. So yeah, like San Jose was sick. Oakland had some good mics. But the Bay is a little harder to kind of like, I don't know, figure out how to go. Because it's kind of huge, you know what I mean? So you're going...
And it's tight. It's huge and it's like tight locations.
And
like
you got to pay to go across the bridges and shit, you know? Like, That's why Portland was such a sick city. Like, if any city was popping off that is like that, it was Portland. Because everything's so compact and like in the same area pretty much, you know? It's pretty chill.
And they have like a good public transport system, no?
They do have a good public transport system. I was living in my transport system, so it was a little easier for me. And the hardest thing is the figuring out where the mics are. So like they had a great website before anyone really had a website. Like we had Comedy Bureau out here in LA, and that would show you where all the mics were. And then Portland had a website. It had every mic for every day and where it was and like what did it cost. And OC Orange County Stand Up, shout out the bros. They do a great job of posting mics. So to have a good scene, you need a good place that shows the comics where to go. You know,
to create that hub.
Yeah, exactly. You know, have one like source that has all the mics. Yeah, that's kind of crucial.
Well, it's great. Like I remember when I started, the first thing I did was I wrote a lot. Like I wrote like for 2 months. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna finally look up an open mic.
Nice.
And I just Googled it, and the only thing that had popped up was the Rec Room back in the day.
Nice.
But then I was like, work. I'm like, damn, it starts at like 10 o'clock, and it's a lottery system, and I'm like, I'm gonna be so. I've gotten a couple car accidents, and it's like, maybe did I fall asleep? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You know, so
hey, I've been there, sister.
It's hard. So it's like I do prioritize that rest a little bit, just because like danger, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I remember I had looked that up, and I told Chantel, because when I heard about the buddy system through, like I was telling one of my close friends, I was like, I'm really interested in trying stand up, and she's like, oh, my coworker does stand up, and she by chance was coworkers with William. So I got to meet William.
Cool.
And I was like, dude, if I ever just walked in downtown on a not Saturday afternoon, because I don't go out at night or whatever, I would have probably found him a lot sooner.
Right.
And it just never happened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's mostly how it goes. It's always like, it felt like stand-up was like an open secret. You know what I mean? It was like, it's happening, but you don't know where or how, you know? And then once you find out, you're like, oh, it's everywhere.
Everybody knows about it too. Yeah.
Everyone's doing it. Yeah.
It's definite. Have you guys ever ran an open mic, or did you just produce shows?
We did an open mic. We did an open mic in Long Beach at Que Sera in Long Beach. It was a fucking cool venue, great bartender. We just, you know, they hated open mic comedy. They just hated it.
It's hard.
It's hard. And it's hard for the venue because, you know, get guys going up, you know, not all the comics are, you know, the best at, you know, the guys coming up talking about, you know, terrible things. You know?
They're still, I want to think they're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know,
edgelordism has always existed, though, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, it's good, you know, for those comics to do that edgelord stuff and get the reaction of bombing, and then hopefully they're like, oh, maybe I won't do that again. You know what I mean? Like, they have to be able to gauge it, but some venues just aren't down, you know, and that's okay.
Public reaction used to be better. I think when people would say, like, we should stone a couple people, or like throw tomatoes at them or something. You know what I mean? Because people used to get reprimanded. Now we're like, hey, don't say that. But then they just go somewhere else and say the same shit.
Right. And that's, I think, is a thing that you have to learn as a comic, is that, like, not everything is for everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to go in some venues and you can say whatever the fuck you want someplace. And then you go to other places where you can't say anything. And you should still be able to make those people laugh.
You're like, hey, little Timmy, or whatever little kids. You're like, there's a time and place for everything, buddy.
There really is. Yeah. And
this isn't the one.
This isn't the one. And I've done it. I've been there. You know, I've said crazy stuff in the wrong times, you know, and, you know, hopefully as a creator, because you want to make people laugh, you're not trying to make people mad.
No,
hopefully.
Yeah. So imagine.
Yeah.
I want rage. I want violence.
Yeah. I just want chaos.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, you know, if you want laughter, you adjust, you know, and that's good for an artist, hopefully.
If that's your goal, right?
If that's your goal.
Hopefully that's your goal in stand-up.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, what else would it be? You know what I mean? You know?
Edgelord stuff, dude. I don't know, like, because cringe comedy, I love cringe comedy.
Yeah.
I'll laugh hard at something cringy enough.
Yeah.
I think you like cringy comedy too.
I like seeing some people post cringe shit on the internet and then laughing at them. I love doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll send him stuff specifically because I know he'll hate it, and I'm like, even though I know he's not like that ugly baby thing I sent you the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, I know he's gonna hate it. I'm like, but me knowing he's hating it is making me giggle.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah, that's like half of what, like, me and my brother and, like, our collective friends group do, is we just send each other stuff that makes each other cringe all day.
Yeah, just outrageous shit. Yeah, absolutely.
You find joy in their little hatred of the minutia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because in a way, it's like how like the cringe level just increases. You know, it's like, how could they do this so crazy? Like, this is, you know, it's
and
like
they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, it's
like lack of self-awareness with some of these people.
Oh yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah,
it
is. It's like a case study.
Yeah.
Do you? So this has actually been coming up a lot lately. The lack of self-awareness and stuff like that. And I think I mean, without like tooting my own horn, like, I think I could end up in like a different state, country, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, give me about 30 minutes in a public place and I could kind of figure out the public discourse attitude or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, we're going to Japan soon.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, don't be loud. I'm like, I know not to fucking be like, I'm not going to show up on a train and be like, what's up, bitches?
Yeah.
Tokyo, I'm here.
Yeah, just like shaking ass.
Yeah. What? I'm not like, obviously I'm gonna, like, you're telling me I'm gonna get on the train, I'm gonna be confused where I'm going, I'm gonna be checking Google Maps, and then I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm always so interested when people, because that means people fuck that up.
Oh yeah.
That they're making videos like that, like, hey, this is how you act in public. It's like, oh my god, who's not doing that already?
Yeah, the arrogant U.S. traveler meme is there for a reason.
I heard the issue is like a lot of Chinese and Indian travelers though too.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. Well, Japan is very like very.
Yeah, like not hoity-toity, but like what's the word? Like structured.
Yeah, structured and like reserved.
Yes.
You know? So like, but like, again, like, are you going to go, like, as long as you're chill, you should be fine. You know what I mean? Like, I you know, I'm not a very loud person in general. So like,
Same.
I can, you know, I feel like I'd be better to just disappear. Like, louder cultures are probably harder for me. You know what I mean? Going to somewhere that you need to be. Like, going to New York, oh my God, I feel like that would be fucking terrible.
Taxi,
you know?
please.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to order a sandwich, be like, you know, I'll just wait. You know,
I'll just go get Whole Food soup.
literally, I'm like, at least I can fucking figure that out. You know, just getting yelled at by a freaking Turkish man.
I'm the same way. Like, especially the way I grew up is like, you know, my folks would get mad if I was like, I never from upstairs was like, Mom, Dad. It was always like, come downstairs, see what we're doing, and then, you know, kindly and quietly ask for our attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, same. Like my dad was in the military, so he did not play any loudness. You do? Oh,
well, my dad was in the Lebanese military. Still counts.
That's probably harder. That's probably tougher. You know?
My dad got shot in the neck. Dude, yeah, he's not paralyzed or nothing. He got pretty lucky. Like, he got hit by like a smaller bullet.
Oh my God.
And the spine stopped it. But my uncle
It was just a little bullet. It was just a little bullet.
He still has it. He still has it.
That's so sick.
My uncle tells the story. He's like, I look back and I thought your dad was dead. He's like, I kept running. I was like, dude, you almost aborted me in the ball. That would have been fucked up.
That's crazy.
We have a lot of similarities, Mario.
Yeah, for real. So does he like? Is he still like have like neck difficulties, or he's chilling?
He doesn't like. So one time I recently I went to go like rub his shoulders. I'm like, what's up, Pop? And I like hit his shoulders and I went up to his neck to give him like one of these, and he did like, you know, and I was like, oh shit, like I didn't even think about that. You know,
forgot about your bullet hole.
Well, he was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start it, because he did kind of like jump, and I was like, no, you're good. But yeah, like I forgot about your bullet hole.
You put your finger in his hole. You're like, oh,
I love you, Dad.
Oh, I miss you.
This is how I express my love. As should tell. But it's crazy. So you were raised in a very like structured environment as well.
Yes.
Was your dad in the American military?
The American military, yeah.
Let me guess. Air Force.
No, Army.
Okay, Army. Got the first letter right.
You got it. It's pretty much the same shit. Yeah. He drove trucks, so it's kind of a plane. A plane on a land plane.
Kind of like videos are computer boats. Like
exactly. Fucking.
I got you.
We're doing it. We're doing it. U.S. military. He carried jet fuel. Was based in Germany.
Sick.
Very, you know, he loved it. You know, he was always a very clean guy. You know, always yelling at me about my room and my car and my things. And I'm like this. You know, so you know.
Has he ever seen you perform stand up?
He's seen me one time in San Francisco, and I did pretty good. I did really well. So like they seen me early on in that first like 2 years when I was up in San Francisco. Him and my mom came up for Mother's Day.
Aww.
And
we're visiting our son. He lives in his truck. Yeah. We're gonna get him a hotel for the weekend.
They did.
Aww,
they did. Yeah.
Your parents love you.
Yeah, my parents. I love my parents. Me and my dad had a tough time when we were younger, as you know, young men do. Yeah. But now, you know, he's just an old fella who's, you know, trying his best.
Yeah.
So but they came up. It was like Mother's Day weekend, and I messaged somebody about a show, and I was like, if I can get up, it's chill. And then they messaged me like an hour before the show. They're like, yeah, we can get you a spot. And I went. Sick. And it was a sick little bar, and my parents like right there, and I had a bunch of jokes about my sister having a baby and shit. And it went way better than it should have. And ever since then, they've never asked about comedy. They're like, they trust me.
That you're doing good.
Yeah, so like that was like 2 years in. So it's like 6 years, 6 years later. So
how cool.
It worked out, you know.
They believe in you, son.
Yeah. Now, dude, I guess like my girl met my parents recently, and then my dad was like, have you seen them do comedy? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, so you like that cussing and shit, huh? I was like, yeah. I mean, that is pretty much what I say.
Yeah.
You know.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad. I'm sorry I talk about pussy so much.
You speak rated R.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad. I didn't stop at PG for you.
Yeah, for real, dude. If you bring up like poop around my dad, he's like, guys, calm down. He's like, it's so awkward. Yeah. It's so funny.
No, my mom, she'll hear it. I'll be like, oh, because she'll be like, oh, how'd it go last night? Like, da-da-da. And I'll like, you know, one time I made a bit about her and I showed her and she's like, first of all, she's like, you're making fun of me? And I'm like, no, I'm not they don't get it. I'm talking about life, right? Yeah. But then she'll be like, when she hears me cuss, she'll be like, why do you say these words?
Yeah. You can't talk anyway, say it differently. Yeah.
Well, sorry, I'm not a little lady. You should have put me in etiquette school then, Mom, not public school.
Right.
Grew up with this guy.
Yeah, that's not good for anybody.
He's all like, bitch.
Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun.
I remember learning curse words. I used to live, I grew up for the most part here, like in this area, but I used to live closer to like Cal Baptist University back in the day. And I grew up with it's always funny. You end up finding Middle Easterns everywhere, but our neighbors were Jordanian. And I would we'd have our little powwow, me and the neighbor kid. We'd meet at the wall and he's like, oh, I heard my sister say this word today. She said, fuck. I'm like, oh my God, what do you think that means? And we're like, you know, we didn't know, but we're like discussing these words. We're hearing, it's like, my mom says shit whenever she's mad. Yeah. You know, but I hear people talk about it for poop.
Right.
So it's like, you know, is it poop or is it mad? Like,
right. Yeah, that's adorable.
Well, language is difficult, dude.
Oh, man, yeah.
Especially English.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It's super difficult.
Yeah, I barely got a grasp on it now. You know, I had a terrible stutter as a kid. Yeah. So, like, I don't know Spanish, so I'm hanging out.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I barely know English. You know? So, yeah, talking is tough. It's funny that that's what I do now, but, you know, talking's hard.
Did your parents speak Spanish in the house?
In the house, no. But both my parents speak Spanish. My mom speaks Spanish. My dad he speaks more Spanish than I do, but you know, yeah. But they're I always say that like they grew up in the Reagan era, so it was very assimilation, you know. I mean, like we're Americans. Yeah, exactly.
My first language was Arabic, I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
Just because that's what my family spoke in the house, you know, and then I learned English obviously simultaneously, but like I learned them at the same time because luckily, like I'm very grateful my parents taught me Arabic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. That's like that's amazing.
It's cool, that's like, I wish I spoke a different language though, something more like I hate calling it not useful, but it's like God, I wish I spoke Spanish.
Yeah, but for like the trajectory of time, it's probably one of the most useful languages. You know, understanding Arabic. You know, like I guess Spanish. I mean, what's Spanish like? It has to be like not that old. You know, you know what I mean? It has to be like what?
As far as ancient and stuff like that goes, you're right. I'm probably speaking the same language Jesus or a couple disciples spoke, dog.
Truly. That's pretty sick, dude.
The
that's
holy
sick as
word with phlegm.
Yeah, that's sick as fuck.
I want to ask a little more about Idiots at Jerry's.
Shout out.
It's so cool. The concept of it, because that was a fun show to do too. I got a little nervous on the interview part because people listen to that like right in front of you. You know what I mean? Did it take you a while to get like that down as far as like questions and stuff you want to ask? And, because it's banter at the end of the day.
It really is banter. It started like. Because we never did the interviews, so it started kind of like as riffing sessions, you know?
With the comics or between each other?
Between each other, and then like interviewing with the interview, like we've gotten better at like trying to have like, because like we use memes for flyers, so like if whatever that month is the theme is, you know what I mean? Like we try to like, you know, figure out a question that every comic gets asked, so we can have something to pull back to, but we still go off the rails, you know, and you know, I always say something I shouldn't. It's like I you know, just overshare, and then sometimes the comics like, okay, and I'm like,
sorry guys.
I'm like, anyways, what's your favorite Disney movie? You know what I mean? Like trying to pull that whole thing back. But like that. That has been a process figuring out. We used to like end the interview with like impressions, but that just got, you know, like the comics wouldn't want to do it. And
do you do impressions?
Heck no.
Okay.
Heck no. I mean, I do an impression. The only impression, this is an impression of Marge Simpson talking to the old FBI director James Comey. Oh, Comey. That's all I dude.
It's not bad. It sounded like Marge.
I also do an impression. I mean, I don't do it on stage, but I do an impression of Steve from Sex and the City. I don't know if you ever seen Sex and the City. It's pretty much the same impression, but it's a different. I just do a different thing.
The voice.
Like, oh, Moanda. Yeah, it's pretty good if you guys watch Sex and the City. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I fucking love Sex and the City. I just, when I started dating my girlfriend, she like was watching it one day, and I like sat down. And
got hooked.
I got hooked immediately. I was like, dang, these girls are cool.
Yeah.
These girls are cool.
I'm that way with Real Housewives.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm similar to that. I always tell Chantel, she's like, oh, you never want to watch. I'm like, if you put it on,
yes,
I'll end up, without even wanting to, I'll end up just being like, okay, so who's this?
Yes.
What are we doing?
Yes.
Oh, this is what's happening?
Yeah.
And then I'm invested.
Yeah, you're like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And that's like the simple. You're a simple guy, I'm guessing. I'm a simple guy too.
Yeah, I'm simple as hell. Like she was watching Love Is Blind recently, and
That's a fun one.
Dude, I was just watching. I was like, dang, these people are crazy. These people are just crazy. I'm like, dang, I don't want him for her. You know what I mean?
I've jokingly wanted to like troll one of my homies and get them on a dating show. We used to tease you. We'd be like, we're just gonna submit something for you, and you're gonna get a call from Netflix
Dude,
one day.
Do you guys remember like Room Raiders?
Yeah.
Dude, I always wanted to be on Room Raiders. That would have been sick, dude.
No way.
Yeah, not
I'd
like
be
actually,
so
but
nervous.
dude, I know. Imagine my room right now is fucked. I just got a new bed though.
Nice.
Biggest bed I've ever had, queen bed.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I didn't buy it, but it's free.
It's comfortable. I bet.
Well, it's comfortable.
Yeah.
I like a hard bed. I like a firm, tough, like pretty much the floor.
Really?
Yeah. So like my lady got a new bed. She didn't like it. She tried to return it. They're like, keep it. You can just have it. So then
Sick.
I got it, and yeah, it's fucking cool. I never had so much room. I've only slept in a futon.
Oh, really?
Till I was like, my first mattress was like 2 years ago. It was like Adam Chong's sister's college mattress.
So where did your parents make you sleep growing up? Just
I
kidding.
slept on the futon. Yeah. I slept in the living room. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, then I moved to my grandma's house, and I slept in like the laundry room. Same futon. Same futon situation. Yeah.
I used to by choice sleep on a futon just because they were fucking sick.
Yeah, I loved.
They were so cool.
I had a futon in my bonus room too. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We would definitely
Futons are
sleep
cool.
in there.
Dude, I love the
PS2.
fucking, the ability to put it into a couch.
It's sick.
And then into a full bed. And because it's a big mattress when you pull it down, it's like a full.
I got my brother's hand-me-down
Nice.
futon when I was growing up. And do you remember that thing, the leopard one?
Kind of, actually.
tiger-
yeah.
I think it was tiger print,
It was
huh?
in the downstairs room for a little
Yep.
bit. Yeah.
The
That's
tiger
awesome.
print fucking futon.
Hell yeah. Tiger print futon.
My brother's so cool, but he was a little bit of one of those guys. Like, he had the tiger print futon. He had the black fly girls against the wheels.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
On his truck, he had the chicks with the flame hair and the nipples. You know what I'm talking about? The sticker?
Yeah. The one laying back.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck
We would
yeah.
put them in front of each other like
Right.
slutty
Oh
mermaids.
my God, look at that. Look at their kissing.
Yeah.
They're getting touched.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Was it just you and your sister growing up?
Yeah. I only have one sister, and she hated me. So like now we're really cool.
Yeah,
but at the, I was 4 years younger than her. She was, I remember one time, I tell this all the time, and she hates it, but I finally got to go to school with her. She was in 7th grade. I was in 3rd grade. And I seen her, and I was like, "Oh, there's my sister." I like run up to her, and she just like Heisman'd me. She's like, no, and like walked right by me. And I was like, yeah. So
Bro, that shit hurts.
it did, dude. It really did, And then now she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Why you keep telling people that?" And she's super nice, but it was just us, and I didn't mind sleeping in the living room because like everyone would go to sleep, and I would just watch TV,
Be able to chill,
play video
yeah.
games, play Tony Hawk.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was chill.
And right now you live out towards LA County, yeah?
Yeah, I live in Long Beach with Adam Chong, the
Sick.
comedian Adam Chong. Yeah.
Do you do a lot of mics and stuff out there, or do you, like, what is your like comedy routine like? Like your workout, you're on shows a lot, obviously, but
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, I guess it depends on like the week. Like Mondays, if I don't have the Sunset Lounge show, because we have a Monday Sunset Lounge. It's like Mondays, I'll try to go to the store, or there's like a mic in Long Beach at Roxanne's. Tuesdays is like the day for my girlfriend. We cook a dinner on Tuesday.
Cute.
Yeah.
Designated date night. It's important.
It's important, especially because like she's a teacher. So she has to wake up early.
Sick.
I'm like up all night. So like, you know, figuring out a day that we can fucking hang out,
Yeah.
you know, is important. So tomorrow we're making bacon wrap hot dogs with fried jalapenos.
Ooh,
yeah, I seen
nice.
it on Instagram. I was like, can we make this? I want to make this. You know. Yeah, and then Wednesday I do the live stream with Jerry, and then try to hit a mic after that. Thursdays I either do fucking I try to do Buddy System and the CK.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love CK.
It's cool.
The Claremont mic, dude. Shout out Timmy and fucking Isaiah. That always a good crowd. Young fellas, young college kids. You know,
I told Tim, I'm like, where'd you find this place? The food is good. The tea is good. They have like hundreds of flavors.
Yeah, I had a fucking fried rice there, and it was like bomb as fuck. It was like a little bit of fried rice. It was perfect
but it's only
amount.
like $4.
Yeah,
When they sell it
exactly.
at very, to me, it feels like very fair prices.
Yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean? I love little tea houses
Yeah.
like that. We grew up with the 10 Rens down the street, so like that's
Nice.
where we would conjugate in college and stuff like that.
Yeah, it does feel like a college hang, and everyone's so nice, and yeah, I love that place. Or like, and Chatterbox is Thursdays, Fridays usually have a show, Saturdays usually have a show, Sundays Chatterbox, or like I know there's Hype Mic in LA, so you know, just anywhere I can get on the fucking mic, I'll go. You know, I
Yeah.
have no.
Do you write a lot?
Not really.
No.
I write in the sense I'm trying to get back to like physically writing jokes out, but I get like premises. I like write down premises, and then I usually just like work it out on stage. So
Play
like,
with it.
Yeah, so that's like it's crucial to get up a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because the more you get up, more I get up, the more I can like figure out where the fucking beats are.
Yeah.
And then if like I have a big concept joke, then I try to like physically write it out, see where I can go with it and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so that's, you know. But I used to be way back. I used to write like fucking like 3 or 4 jokes a day, dude.
Damn,
Yeah,
okay, that's
I was
hard.
on one, and then I don't know what happened. Honestly, I just stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just got into the riff too much, you know. And now writing feels like a fucking.
Like a chore almost.
It's like a mountain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Climbing a fucking mountain.
Do you
know?
still write poetry ever?
I do write poetry, like but I have like this little notebook that, like, you know, when I let my car warm up in the morning, I'll just like write a little page.
Oh, okay.
And it's like just keep. The thing about poetry I like is that you know, it's like beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want to keep beauty in my life. You know what I mean? So
That's nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever written a song or anything like that? Like, would you, if your girl, because you said your girl's a singer songwriter,
Yeah.
would you if she was like, oh, write a song with me, would you be down?
I would try my best. She's a great songwriter. She's a beautiful song. She wrote a song about me. It was gorgeous. You know what I mean? I did a joke about, like, you know, she wrote this beautiful song about me, and then I had this joke about, like, we had sex and she was on her period, and I looked like I had hot Cheeto fingers. And that's all I can give her in return. You know, she gave me this beautiful piece of art, and I'm just like, yo, look at my hands.
Shit that makes you cry.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's truly, truly beautiful writing. But like that's way harder to me, because earnestness is hard.
Yeah.
You know, to be earnest and to be like not hiding behind the veil of laughter, you know, is like tough. You know what I mean? Like, even like serious bits that you do, like I do about myself, like, or like you know, the last Chatterbox set I had that, like, I headlined, like, I finished with like stories about like my nephew and my dad and stuff, and even that, like, while I'm in the joke, I'm like dying. I'm like, oh, this better be funny or I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind myself. You know what I mean? So like earnestness is tough, but I would give it a crack. You know, but yeah, no, I have like a poetry reading in May supposedly. And I'm fucking dreading
Supposedly.
it. Well, I'm still, I don't know, I might drop out because I'm scared.
No, make yourself. Come on, fool! You freaking road tripped in a truck.
I know.
I can't imagine that was comfortable.
No, but that was fun as hell.
Be nervous, have fun with it.
Yeah,
man.
that's true.
Is there anything you'd like to plug, Mario?
My butt. No, just Idiots at Jerry's, Idiots United. My Instagram's Mario Rodriguez doesn't exist. Check out all the shows, all the bros. The Medium podcast, of course.
Thank
you
you.
know, very fun. Thank you guys for fucking having me. This is so fun.
Yeah, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
No, man. this is fun hanging out with you.
Yeah, it was really fun getting to know you, dude. It was really fun.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.